Namaste from Deepesh. Today I'm going to share volume 2 of my YouTube series Power of Copilot in D365 and Power Platform. Everything great that's coming through Microsoft Copilot in our space. Today we're going to talk about how it's useful in Dataverse tables and virtual tables. We're going to take some relevant examples. I am Deepesh Samani, Business Applications MVP Alumni and MCT. If you've not seen my earlier videos, you can watch them. There are a lot of playlists that you can learn from, and you can also subscribe to my channel. Let's get into the learning part 365 as usual. Let's quickly get into the learning zone. So here we are quickly onto the relevant page, and it is basically tables. I've gone into from home. I've clicked on tables, and then you can see describe the new table here, right? So I'll click on that. Thereafter, you'll be loaded onto this particular page. So what I can do this time, let's check example of some vendor data. I'm just going to say vendor data real quick, and then I will let it run by clicking send. It's going to take some time to run. Here you can now see that a bit of vendor data is loaded, name is loaded, different IDs, addresses, contact number, and type. Some random type is being loaded as well. What I can quickly do with it is I can just click on create here in the bottom right. I'm going to click on create and let it create. Isn't this great? So now this is now the table is created, and you can see the vendor data over here. I can see some vendor data columns, whatever we were able to see. I can directly go to update forms and views, or I can just choose different columns by clicking columns. And let's see the columns that were created. So all those columns are automatically created by the application for me. Isn't this great? So this is one way which we can use Copilot to create tables. I hope you find this useful. Let's take another sample. So now that we have seen how we can create Dataverse table using Copilot, we're going to now explore how to create virtual tables. So now another thing that you can see over here is how to create a virtual table. We can also upload an Excel file and create a particular table. I'm not doing that in interest of time. Let's quickly go and try and create a virtual table. So I'm going to click create virtual table over here real quick. Now, as you can see, I have a standard connection to SharePoint. You can go ahead and connect. I have already pre-connected this one and it's loaded. So I'm going to use SharePoint as one of the sources. You can have a variety of sources, which I can show you real quick. If I click on new connections, I'll be loading up with a bunch of connections. These are standard connections, right? So we can load whatever data source we want, just like here, you can see 2 connections, right? And if you want another data source, we only support the following, as you can see. So you're picking either SharePoint or you're picking SQL Server. The one which I'm picking is, okay, what something happened over there. So one I'm picking is SharePoint, and then I'm going to click on next. Thereafter, I'm going to give the SharePoint URL that is required and which I can use for creating my particular virtual table in my Dataverse site. So as I was experimenting with this a bit earlier, I already have a testing site pre-filtered in recent sites, which I'm going to select. And then we're going to click next onto it. I have a virtual test list already pre-populated. I'm going to click on that. I am going to review it. It's going to take a bit of time to. As you can see, ID, title, and other columns, I can filter down whatever were there, and some were there to synchronize from SharePoint. They're all mapped here. For the example sake, I'm keeping the same display name. You can really change it if you wanted. Then I'm going to click next. Here, you're going to see all the summary of from SharePoint data source. I'm going to do a configuration, and then I'm going to click finish and let it complete. So now it's completed. As you can see, we can see 2 rows of data here, title 1 and 2 in the sample data, and there was a bunch of information I populated. Let's compare that to the SharePoint site here and the list that we had. So these are the values that are there, and this is virtually added as a source, and it's appearing over here. So that's a great quick way of creating virtual table. I hope this video on Copilot with tables and then how to do virtual tables real quick with the navigation was useful to you, and you can utilize it in your implementations or your learnings on this latest and greatest from Microsoft in D365 and Power Platforms. Yeah, I'm not gone yet. So I wanted to use this last section to thank you all for following me. Now, you have been learning with me, I've been learning with you for quite some time now. So if you're really interested in using me and my team's expertise on anything Dynamics 365 and Power Platform, All I'm saying is to go on my LinkedIn and drop me a message, and we can connect from there. It can be any kind of arrangement, engagement. I'll be really happy to help. And those examples will help me serve you better by giving you more relevant examples in my upcoming work that I do or upcoming community work that I share. Thank you. Bye bye.